we saw the trailers for new movies that looked awesome.
Awesome trailers.
If you remember our electronic fart conversation from oh so long ago, it's because we just watched trailers
for episode 2.
For the way back from episode 2 of Mega64 Podcast Z. We were talking about electronic fart noises making movie trailers awesome, and we know that because we just watched the Ninja Turtles movie trailer.
Yes.
A lot of controversy on the internet about this trailer, and I don't understand it.
Yeah.
It has the electronic fart noises.
Wow.
I mean, it fucking farts all over the place.
Every time a Ninja Turtle lands onto some
or
type of
even a
surface,
helicopter flies over. It doesn't
helicopter
matter.
flies.
Tower falls over. Wow. Ninja Turtle does a flip. Wow.
Do you know what I think was the first trailer to incorporate that noise? Was Inception. Yeah.
Inception. That's where it came from, I think.
I think that started the trend, and Michael Bay has now taken the trend to completion with the Ninja Turtles trailer.
I thought he was directing that movie. He's not.
He's only producing it.
Yeah.
I just saw his name on it, and I was like,
Michael Bay's fucking up the Ninja Turtles.
It looks exactly like Transformers, except there are turtles instead of robots.
But to me, everyone's mad. What did they expect from a Ninja Turtles movie?
Just watch the old ones.
Yeah, who cares?
I get everyone being mad now because it's like, oh, that's something that was special to me, and now they think they're ruining it, but you don't. I guess I used to think like that too, but you don't have to watch it. Yeah. And there was nothing coming out before this. Now there's something. Maybe it'll be fun.
Yeah, but
maybe it'll be entertaining.
I think that, it was like, here's the thing.
Shitty,
but but
there's two. It's like they could have made this movie like really fit in with what was already established with Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
But they made it fit in with what was already established with Michael Bay.
And
I think that's why people are angry. It's like it just looks like a Michael Bay movie, like his last 5 movies.
I don't know what people wanted at the beginning at Nickelodeon Studios.
Yeah, that's such a good point. The first thing you see is that. It's like, well, here's what you're going to get. I don't know.
Nickelodeon
they just own the license right
Nickelodeon produced a movie about crime-fighting turtles.
To sell toys.
Exactly, which is what it is.
Yeah.
And the guy who said you and your friends are dead from the second Batman movie is Shredder. And there's a big-ass turtle.
Yeah, I think if you were like a big fan of the original Ninja Turtles comic, when those movies came out, you probably were pissed off.
Yeah, but then you probably weren't a big fan of the cartoon. If you were a big fan of the comics, I doubt you're a big fan of the cartoon.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like every time Ninja Turtles comes out, there is always the quote-unquote real fans who are like, this is not what Ninja Turtles is. Because it went from like a dark and gritty comic book to a Saturday morning cartoon to a cheesy live-action movie, back to a Saturday morning cartoon, which was different, back to something that's dark and gritty, but now is, Michael Bay.
But still, and I think this revelation just came over me, it is dark and gritty now. It definitely looks like that Batman, that Transformers real-world environment look. However, it's a Nickelodeon movie to sell toys.
Right. Yeah.
This is a movie for 8 to 14-year-old boys.
Yes.
So everyone on the internet who's
and a lot of
complaining-
28-year-old men are pissed.
So, whoa, we just figured it out. I know why you're mad at the new Ninja Turtles trailer. It's because you are no longer 8 to 14 years old.
Surprise!
That's why. If you're over 14 and you're bitching on the internet about Ninja Turtles, really take a look in the mirror.
I'm not saying you're mad at Ninja Turtles. I think you're mad at the fact that time sucks.
Yeah,
and
true.
You're literally not 8 years old to 14 years old anymore. I know it's sad.
You're taking that slow walk to death. It's real hard when all the stuff from when you were a kid is getting jammed right back in your face, and it doesn't have that same shine as when you woke up and had a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Why weren't they complaining
about
you know
what? But
cartoon?
The only other option is to be really into it. But is that any better?
No,
because then you're just an adult who's into stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
8 to 14-year-olds.
Were these same people complaining about the current Nickelodeon cartoon of Ninja Turtles?
Probably.
Probably. I think so.
Or the last 4, or that last animated
Probably.
movie?
And hey, they were still watching them all.
I really liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, but I don't care.
What show?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We were gonna let that go.
When I was like 5, I had VHS tapes of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Me too.
I'm almost 28. I have no need.
By Deke.
Hey.
And you always be like, hold on, that company's called Dick.
Yeah. Straight up, it's called Dick.
100%.
You're not. Who decided You know why they say Deke in their promo?
Because
if
you-
they don't
if
say
they
that,
don't, it's Dick. It's
Yeah,
Dick.
all the censors are like, you have a company named Dick. Well, all right.
we say Deke.
Well, you need to say it
yeah,
because
I love
Aaron.
I love Ninja Turtles 2 when I was a kid. I think the new movie does look like shit. Not to say it looks like shit.
No.
It looks like a very well-made movie. But it looks like Transformers.
It looks
and
like
all the
Transformers.
other- all the other big action
You don't like
movies
those
are,
movies.
It's not made for me, so I don't get mad when I see a trailer for the new Barbie movie because that wasn't made for me. Who cares? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't harm the source material, so the things that you enjoy about the thing that you enjoy can still be enjoyed by you. But when you see a trailer for like a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, you don't have to go, it's ruined! Because it's not. Because you still have that comic book on your shelf that you can open anytime and still read like the first day you got it.
And there's a term I have read, I'm going to say hundreds of times at this point. I never want to see it again.
Oh, yes. I know what you're going to say.
Okay, I never want to see it again. Please, I'm begging the internet, stop saying it. I don't want to see Michael Bay rape my childhood one more time.
Raping my
I
childhood
don't want to
is
see
so
it. I don't want to
frequently
hear it.
used on the
Please
internet.
stop saying that. I can't say it
And
more.
he didn't.
He did
So
it.
that's insensitive.
I've
so
been
shut
on
up.
that boat for such a long time. People post that on Facebook, and I'll just unfriend them.
That's the way to go, I think.
But,
because
you
they're
know,
promoting rape culture?
I do agree with everybody out there. They shouldn't take old properties. I think that if you have an
Come up with
idea,
new shit.
yeah, if you have an
Properties
idea
make
for a
money,
movie,
though.
That's all it is.
I understand that if something already exists, there's a built-in fan base. You don't need to explain to somebody what Ninja Turtles is, and if it was Ninja Aliens from Mars, you would have to explain to somebody what it was. But still, at the same time, I like to think, and we're gonna get down to the core,
Let's
the
get
truth of the
brass
matter
tacks right here.
Make it Ninja Aliens from Mars, and make it really fucking good, and invent your own new classic.
Yeah.
That's why I ultimately get disappointed with every one of these movies that comes out, because I'm just like, this is either going to suck, or it should have just been an original thing.
You know what? Me, Rocco, and Sean were talking about this the other day. They're like, oh, maybe they might make a new Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, but maybe they might recast the Indiana Jones like a James Bond type thing. Hey, just make a totally new property where someone goes on crazy adventures to find some kind of weird loot.
The thing is,
like, that's totally fine. But then Sean's like, yeah, but if they call it Indiana Jones, they make $1 billion more.
But
It's
what's so
guaranteed
stupid
money.
is the thing. Indiana Jones was itself invented based on these old serials from the 1930s,
Yes.
and they didn't just take those Flash Gordon or whoever serials that they were based on and redo them.
Right.
They made Indiana Jones, and in fact, they made Flash Gordon in the 80s, and it tanked.
Yeah.
So
Indiana Jones is around.
yeah, exactly. So make something new inspired by.
You can be
whatever.
inspired,
hey,
but
do whatever
whatever.
you want.
Yeah,
I don't care. Why am I talking?
Hey,
so
they
much?
probably
But-
are going to do that.
that makes sense.
The Indiana Jones thing?
Well, yeah, because a company can guarantee themselves to make money
Financially.
off-
Definitely
well, think
makes sense.
about, you're going to end up, Beckett's probably going to want to go see this Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're going to end up taking him,
Yes.
and wouldn't you rather take him to something that's like, this is familiar, I like Ninja Turtles when I was a kid, so I'd rather take him to see this than like, some
I
made-up
definitely-
thing that you think looks
In
dumb.
my head, I have more of an incentive to take him to this than if it was something
Lego
fighting
movie.
But
It's like,
ultimately,
I like
if it was
Legos.
some made up thing that looked cool, that would be best.
That's
Exactly.
true, but it's true. But also, it's for
The
kids.
Croods.
It's the Croods, though. Okay, that's a good example.
Wall-E.
I didn't want to take him to see the Croods.
Yeah.
You know?
It looked gross.
It could look gross.
That's true. But I feel like this movie looks. It's not for me either. The same, but it's like, well, it's Ninja Turtles.
But you'd
He
rather
wants to
take
see
him,
it. I'll take him to this.
And I think that's the way
if
the
I
marketing
was at the
works.
theater and I had a choice between the two, it'd be Ninja Turtles every time.
I think that's not only is there, it's a pop culture reference. It's hot right now because people are still talking about it online.
Right.
But also, as a adult, you're going to take your kids to something that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And they're redoing Hercules.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, redo.
Now, here's the thing. Hercules, all right. I think that looks cool.
Hey, you know what? Honestly,
I think it's different because Hercules is such a classic story from antiquity. It's not like they're doing Hercules: The Legendary Journey reboot. It's Hercules.
I think that the sets and the costuming look cool. A big CG lion looks really cheesy.
All the CG looks like shit.
It really does.
doesn't look
It looks really B-movie.
I thought it looked like shit.
See, when we watched it, all I was thinking was, wow, I think they finally have got CG stuff to look good.
To me, it looked like the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Well,
It absolutely did. Yeah.
Kevin,
It was the Scorpion
That's
King.
The Rock.
The lion is one thing. that fucking warthog was another with that like CG like wood splintering,
and then when he like jumps off like a rock with like, his big club, and it just looks like a PlayStation.
But that's all that's gonna be.
But that's all Ninja Turtles looked like was a PlayStation cutscene.
Yeah, and all the high action scenes that are so obviously CGI cartoons.
Yeah.
Maybe not everybody feels the same. That takes me out.
Oh, me too. I cannot watch it.
My brain turns off. It might as well just be like slush running down the screen.
I absolutely 100% agree with you.
I'm the opposite if it looks decent.
Show me one that looks decent, though.
The Smog scenes in the last Hobbit film, I thought looked great. I thought the CG looked cool. Now, when you CG a real-world character, it's harder to... Like, a lion, I know what a lion looks like, so it's harder to fool. But, like, a giant warthog or a dragon or something like that, I feel like the technology with CG is up there to where it doesn't pull me out. Like, back in the day when Dobby was talking to Harry Potter and the stupid little elf thing, it looked shitty, and it pulled me out like, I know it's not sitting in the room.
Look, you can don't make real animals like lion CG, but make fake animals like warthogs.
It's
CG.
easier... No. That was a giant, like... That was like a fucking gigantic warthog.
I just think all the CG there looked like PlayStation stuff.
I always
thought it looked good.
I always go back to things like in Jaws. They had a robot shark and they couldn't get it to work, so they just had to film around it, and you just see like water splashing and kids getting pulled under, and it looks so cool and scary and real. It looks more real in Jaws when the kid gets eaten by nothing, because you think to yourself, that's how it would be in real life. I'd be at the beach and this kid would just get pulled underwater.
Now, that and people's imaginations is better than anything else we can like that.
Yeah.
Right, the imagination is so powerful.
Yeah.
Let that do the work.
But I don't know that example works in this situation because he's fighting so many different animals that you can't shoot around him fighting head to head these animals.
This is a fundamental difference in filmmaking, whether you're saying, I'm going to have this grandiose, epic shot. You're going to see the lion, full-body lion, cock swinging. It fucking hits Hercules in the face. It knocks his tooth out. We're going to have a fucking CGI tooth going out. That is just a different path of thought than a director who says, there's no way we can show this lion full body and make it look good, so let's figure out something else. That's just two different paths.
Right.
So
I think that's a good point.
And I think the CGI is, it's kind of fun to be that person coming up with all that stuff, but ultimately you're just like doing it for yourself because...
Hey, it's got to be a real bummer to work that hard on something and then 2 years later it looks like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and in what case is that not true?
Yep. Find one. That's why I say find me CG that looks good. Because I think in 2 years everything looks like garbage.
It's up to par now?
No. It's never up to par.
Absolutely not.
It just
never,
ever. It just gets out
the closest that it gets to...
I mean, I'm the biggest guy
except in Existenz.
I agree. But that was practical effects.
You guys know, I'm the biggest practical effects guy. I don't like CG in movies. If they use practical effects and blend a little CG on top of it...
the blending is
It seems to look good.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel that, now at 2014, I'm not pulled out of it so hard as I was in 2005.
You know what? Somebody in the chat made a good comment. District 9 had really good CGI. So good, I forget that it was CGI.
Where the wild things are, I thought was a perfect combination of the blending.
They just put the faces on,
This all was the faces, but the puppet itself was the real thing. Looked awesome to me.
It could be good. It could be done.
There's a video floating around from the Mortal Kombat movie of, I don't know which character it was, but the dude with 4 arms. Goro. And how they did all the animatronics for that, and it looks so good.
Yeah.
I was
from the Mortal Kombat movie.
From the
that was
Mortal Kombat
94,
something like that.
All the facial expressions and everything like that. The hands could be articulated completely, and it just blew me away. And that's from the 90s.
I just don't think there's anything where CG to me is going to trump practical effects.
No, never. It'll never do it. It'll never happen.
Don't think it ever will.
Really good practical effects.
I don't think
awesome CG will trump shitty practical effects. But awesome practical will trump shitty CG.
I don't think it'll ever win, but I definitely think we're getting better, increasingly better.
We are
getting
better.
To where eventually, I don't think you're going to be able to tell that it's not there, unless you really are sitting there going, "I know it's not there," and that's why
it will be 9 days from now.
Well, it's an art form, so there are artists. And some are better than others.
Agreed.
And there's a lot of instances where it's just not that good.
Yep.
But my main fear with Hercules, real quick, I'll wrap this up. I thought The Rock, when I first heard he would be Hercules, I'm like, The Rock is so not, Greek.
Yeah.
And he is like, I always will just imagine The Rock how he was in the WWF. Just this like gaudy,
machismo.
Yeah, machismo,
Raising the
college
eyebrow.
athlete.
Yep.
Yeah. Smarmy. But I thought actually in the trailer he did really kind of portray how I expected Hercules to look. They don't show his face at first. I thought to myself, I was making jokes like, oh, dude, they got Kevin Sorbo. I knew it was The Rock, but I thought the look, he actually transformed himself. Yeah. He looks like Hercules.
Except when he yells, I am Hercules at the camera, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, and then he holds and then he holds a sword, and we get a big old electronic fart as we zoom in onto him holding a sword.
Hey, and then the word Hercules is on fire, and it looks like the font from Rowdy Roddy Piper's t-shirt from like the 80s. It looks so bad.
Yeah, that was interesting 80s font.
Has there been another, I know there was the Hercules show, which I was a big fan of, but has there ever been a film?
I thought that they just made a Hercules film not too long ago.
They did.
I thought this was like the second one. They were like going head to head, and this one.
Why do studios always seem to fucking? Are they spying on each other?
Probably. Four people get ideas and like, well, we have to fucking do it.
We got to do a Hercules movie before.
Is somebody pitches a Hercules movie and the deal goes south, so they think we'll just fucking make our own and we'll beat yours and we'll put it out first, and then the original group is like, well, we're still gonna make ours
and it's gonna be better.
And that's how it happens.
And that's why I think we're going to be in theaters to see Hercules.
That's right.
Am I wrong? Are you going to go see it?
I need to see.
I'm with Kevin.
You know what? I haven't.
I need to see one more trailer where it's not him fighting giant animals, because I thought the costuming and the sets looked really cool, but the rest of it looked like essentially a B movie.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Hercules.
I know.
Well, and The Rock.
And The Rock.
Yeah.
But more so Hercules, so I will probably go check that out in theaters.
I don't think there's anything wrong, and I know you guys give me shit for liking Resident Evil movies and whatnot, but like every once in a while, when I haven't been to the theater in a long time, I just want to go see some fodder, something that I'm going to have fun with. And that looks like something great. I looked this weekend because I kind of had the bug to go see something. Yeah. I couldn't find a fucking thing in theaters that wasn't like old Oscar movies still replaying at rundown theaters. There was nothing in theaters to watch this weekend. Yeah. Nothing that was worth money.
But this is that kind of drought time. The first quarter of the year is always stuff that no one's going to care about.
February is like the shitty vampire movies for teenagers. That's not Twilight. That's in November. Yeah. It's like that's the worst time.
We're going to start getting movies that you actually want to see in like the next 2 months.
When is Hercules? Do we know?
Probably summer.
It said this year, I thought.